During this video, I'll be taking you through some of the differences between books printed by KDP and books printed by Ingram Spark, self-published children's books. So I ordered about 15 of my books from each printer, and I wanted to take you through how they packaged them and also the print quality. So on the left, you'll see that there's 3 small packages. Those came from Ingram Spark. They sent them into 3 different containers. And on the right, Amazon sent everything in 1 package. So these came during 2 different delivery cycles. Okay, so starting with Ingram, I did unfold this flap, and we'll see that they folded cardboard, and I'll take the books out. So the first box, and we'll just put them in a stack. We'll see which ones they are. But let's open up the other 2 boxes and see what they look like. Okay, so here's box number 2. You see it does have some of the coloring books and actually a packing slip. So we will add this to the pile, and then we'll do a side-by-side comparison once we have all the books open. Okay, so the last Ingram box only had 1 book in it. So I guess it was due to when they were able to get the printing done. I hope that I actually have selected the same cover type across my books on both platforms, but that's something we'll be able to look into. Okay, so as we open up the Amazon box, we do see that it's packaged with some wrapping paper. First book is the chess notation book. I believe I only have that available through Amazon. But let's take out the rest of these books. And they are in a neat stack. Looks like we have some glossy covers. And we'll see if anything is beneath the paper. But I think that's it. Okay, so this stack of books were printed by Ingram, and then this stack of books were printed by Amazon KDP. So we'll do some like comparisons. I do have coloring books which are printed from each, so we can do a side-by-side, but I'm not as concerned about the quality of the cover. Is mainly would be how the paperweight feels, and I do believe they're very similar, but Amazon is just slightly thicker for when you do the coloring books. So that is comparison of a coloring book from each. And I also did a dot art book that is available on both, which teaches chess and also lets kids do dot art. So let's see how that compares. So I did order 1 of each of these, and I should make them the same height, but I think we're pretty similar here. I do also think that the paperweight does make a difference, and it's honestly it's about the same. But I believe for coloring books, it's more cost effective to print using Ingram versus KDP, but the covers look the same. Yeah, the weight's about the same. Okay, so next up is my most popular chess book, which is the ABCs of Chess for Kids. And they both do have a glossy cover. I don't notice a difference in quality, but what you do note, if you look at the spine on the left and where the pawn is cut off and the rook, there is a different cropping mechanism between the two. So we probably have to keep a lookout on that as far as the pages in the books as well. So let's see, we have bishop and castle. We'll see if anything's approaching the edge, but here's king. Let's see, game clock. So you see my hand is almost touching the border on page G. And let's see what bishop looks like here. Yeah, the pages feel better, and maybe it has to do with my settings for Ingram, but let's check out game clock. So it looks like actually my hand is cut off in the KDP version, but when you look at, I'm sorry for the focus, the images that I do have, and the text, I think the coloring is more vibrant for the KDP. The books also do cost about $1 more to print, so this is a thinner page setting. The images don't stick out as well, and if you look at like this purple text on the left where it says, can you find the move, you see it looks kind of dull. So if we come back over here to the game clock, yeah, I feel like it is a better contrast. Even up above that where it says it is white turn to move, you see how white pops from the page. We go back. I'm sorry for back and forth, but I'm sure some of you, want to see how text may show up. So I think Amazon KDP wins the internal image quality, but it could just be because I'm not set to premium for Ingram, which costs, quite a bit more. So let's check out another book. So next up we have the ABCs of Solar Eclipse. So this is the latest book that I've released, and it's actually my first time seeing the Ingram print quality. So hopefully it's good, but once again, on the left you have Ingram, on the right you have Amazon. The covers are pretty similar. I feel like it's a little bit more glossy and deeper color in the Amazon, but coming over here, it's about the same. But let's check Q. So Q is for questions and Radiant, so pretty good picture quality. And let's check the Amazon version. So we may have to do a better side-by-side. So let's keep this open. Okay, so we have Ingram on the top and KDP on the bottom. And so looking at them side by side, you do get, or top to bottom, you do see just a bit more pop with the coloring of the image. But I think the text is, sorry for the focus, the text is pretty similar. So the question is it worth it to spend the extra for KDP printing. I think this image, you see a bigger difference. T obviously is for totality. I think that it shows better for the KDP books, but you know, it's about $1 difference to print these. It's $4.20, I believe, for Amazon, and close to $3 for Ingram. So depending on what you have in your children's book, you may prefer to have the extra dollar in profit margin. I think that will be kind of like a big factor. You'll see, you know, they both have barcodes, no big difference for the back of these books. And I do want to note, if you ever do a comparison yourself, just a reminder, you can tell when the book was printed and by who. So looking at this, I know it's Amazon because it was printed in Middletown, Delaware on February 28th. Whereas there's a different kind of barcode indicator in the Ingram book. And I think we should maybe end our comparison with the ABCs of chest openings. So this is one of my largest books. I believe it has over 60 pages because each letter has 2 pages assigned to it. I can tell right away that the board images and the paper quality isn't as great. So for J, we have the Jerome Gambit, if anyone follows the chess bras. But you can see from here, when you look at the piece contrast, and I'm looking at the bishop on c5. If I zoom in, you can, sorry, let me focus. You can kind of, you know, see that from afar, the pieces may blend in, but there's actually a gold border. So as you get closer, it's a bit easier to see. So let's check out the Jerome Gambit and the Amazon. So from the same height, sorry, let's hit focus. You can see that the gold border on like the bishop and the knight are easier to see from above. I think that just like the M, and then as I get closer, it really shows well. So I think, you know, for this book, I would prefer the product from KDP. But since this book is almost 60 pages, the price differential is $1.50 to $2 per book. So we had the Marshall Attack. But otherwise, you know, the format and the layout of this book, when you're reading it, you know, closely, I don't think you would notice as much. But from afar, it's definitely a better version to actually have the KDP version of the book. The cover itself, you know, you can tell that the way they process the cover files are different. They actually do have different layouts, but there is, you can see like a crease for the spine cut off. It's less noticeable on the Ingram book. It looks like I actually have matte selected for Ingram and glossy selected for KDP, so that it explains some of the coloring difference on the cover itself. But let's see. Yeah, I mean, the back of the book, they look about the same. I almost prefer the matte look on the left to the glossy on the right for the back cover, except for, you see, like the London system kind of like the different color letterings. The darker colors pop better on the right, and then the lighter color for like the ABCs of chest openings, the yellow pops better on the left. Alright, so what do you all think? Do you have a preference over KDP versus Ingram for your printing? I personally do more sales through a KDP, but if I'm going to send copies to family or friends, I prefer to order through KDP because I think it suits most of my types of book better. But as far as my coloring books, I think I could go either way. Since it's more cost effective, I would just order them through Ingram and just send them that way. So let me know what you think. If you want to see any of my other chess books compared, actually let's do our last book, which is the ABCs and Languages, before we go, because I think this will really show the difference between paper quality and selection. So for the ABCs and Languages, each language has a different color page, and so you'll see Welsh is yellow, and Hausa is black. But if I flipped to the same page, it's pretty drastic, the difference between the coloring for the black pages and when you look at the maps itself. For the yellow page, I think the Ingram, which is up top, may actually be okay. So let's see if we check a different page. Let's check our Dutch page. So we have Dutch. Sorry about that. And we'll keep, it's a big difference. So you'll see that Ingram's up top and Amazon down below. So for this language book, the reds are a lot better using the premium color on Amazon. I think there's one level up that I could do for Ingram, but then it makes the books more expensive than KDP. It's okay quality, but once you see the comparison, you would rather have the book below. So let me know what you think. Thanks for checking out this video. I will leave a link for my publishing company and books in the description. If you want to check out my Amazon author page, please feel free to do so. If you self-publish yourself and you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and let's connect. Thanks for checking out this video. Have a wonderful day.